What's up everybody? Josh, startedraingutter.business.com. Today we're showing you how to do a custom 3-inch round steel downspout. So there's a couple minor differences between, custom downspouts like this and our standard 2x3. So just kind of wanted to share my thoughts on it with you guys. Stay tuned. Okay, so we got some specialty half-round cold-rolled steel for you today. So this is all bare metal, and building a downspout on one of these is a little bit different than just like a normal 2x3. So this kind of goes with, like the 3-inch round aluminum stuff is pretty well built and but they do come in like slightly different bends, and not everything is standardized like it is in the 2x3 world. So that's the main differences between this stuff, is you can't use like your normal crossover measurement, your normal downspout measurements. You got to kind of custom tailor each one of these to kind of the elbows, because the elbows are like a little bit different bend and a little bit different. They're all different depths. So I kind of paid a little more attention to the specific measurements of everything on this stuff. So we'll get started here with the top elbow. We have a video on how to build these outlets, so we'll put a link right here for you guys on that. So I've got my outlet built, get my elbow on here, nice and straight. I like to usually seal these outlets in after the downspouts built, so that's why you can kind of see some light coming through here. So I'll get this top elbow nice and straight, and this elbow has like a strange curve in it, so I kind of keep that in mind of how that's going to look when I hook it up, and try to blend that into the crossover and make everything look nice and square. So these have like about 1.25 inch sleeve that you can get into one another. So I usually add 2.5 inches for my crossover measurement, and I'll just butt this elbow in and then add 2.5. 9. So I'm measuring from butt to butt just like I normally would, and then just adding 2.5. And then I have my mark there, and what I'll do is, with like a custom elbow, normally I'll just throw my tape down, hook it on the trim. I know what sweep the elbow has, so I don't need to do anything special. But this one I want in a specific spot, so I will kind of put it where I want it, mark it, and then measure from that mark to my other mark that I made with the bottom of this elbow, and then add 2.5 again. So this downspout is a lot stiffer material and a lot thicker and harder to cut. So a lot of times I usually like to use a skill saw with it's a 6.5 inch skill saw with a metal cutting blade. So they make these for like cutting steel studs and stuff. Seems to work the best. So they're still not perfect, but they work pretty good. And it's a lot easier to do it than by hand. So. And I do that 2 ways, like either cut the top half, spin it, cut the bottom half, or just spin the pipe. So kind of depends on the mood I'm in. So all this is normal. I usually do a 6 kind of even crimps around there. Makes it look really nice with the round stuff. That saw leaves quite a few burrs, so I like to kind of just touch them up a little bit, and they're not always the straightest cuts, so I just kind of straighten them up and cut the burrs off with my snips. All right, so I got all my pieces cut. This is like a little longer downspout. It's a little over 8 feet, and so I usually space my top clip down a little bit if they're going to be more than like 60 inches, just to kind of stabilize the downspout a little better. Just kind of probably a little more of a preference thing. We get some decent wind here, and so this kind of helps keep the downspouts from vibrating. There's a couple different ways you can do these downspout attachments. You can do what's called a pipe band. So you would take, like for a 3-inch downspout, you'd take a piece of your coil actually, which is 12 inches wide, and cut, you know, like 1 3/4 strip out of it, and wrap that all the way around. A lot of time I just use what I call a clip, and it's just a half of a piece of the actual downspout. Seems to work pretty good. More of a visual difference though. And then I make sure I have at least one screw in every joint. And then my bottom clip, line it up with my elbow. Always make sure you have that crimped end going into your top piece is crimped, bottom is female. So I guess male, female. So male goes down, female is the lower piece. And I'm not going through every detail on all of this. We have a bunch of videos on just regular downspout installation that covers a lot of these kind of smaller details. But I just wanted to show you guys the difference between this kind of more custom downspout. It's definitely harder to work with, harder to get. This specific material is from Recla Metals out of Colorado, I believe. So yeah, and this stuff is just bare. This will kind of rust up over time, kind of like if you can see that roof up there, like a core tin metal. It'll just age with weather, start rusting, and then that rust kind of creates a protective barrier for the skin of the metal over time. So these new construction jobs, a lot of times they ask me just not to put extensions on while we're in the process of getting this all done till their landscaping's done. So I'm just gonna leave that. Usually I shoot for the bottom of this elbow even with the trim, and that is a pretty good rule of thumb for most situations, just to make sure that that downspout's high enough to drain water but not low enough to where it's, you know, in the dirt. So bottom of the elbow even with the bottom of the siding. It's kind of generally what we shoot for, so works pretty good. And there it is, done in all of its glory. Make sure and like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Hello, 1, 2, 3. I'll probably be a little... Okay, so I'm gonna do the intro afterwards. So have a good day. That was terrible. Ready? Yep. So why was that so weird? Okay, sounds good.